All right, so as promised, we said we would give some tips and techniques to help people out there to avoid becoming victims of the knockout game, right? So here's a couple of techniques and a couple of tips and strategies that you could possibly use to help, keep yourself safe and not become a victim of this dangerous and silly game out there, right? All right, so as we said, the first thing you want to do is your awareness, right? You always want to be aware of your surroundings. You never, especially when you're out, out and about amongst strangers, you never want to let your guard down completely. Now, you don't want to be, hyper intense and paranoid, but, have a level of awareness of your surroundings so that way if something does jump off, you can react in time, all right? So if you've seen in some of the videos, a lot of the people got caught totally unaware. They weren't, they didn't put their guard up, they just got totally unawares, and that's why when they got clocked, it was out, fell headfirst to the floor, very dangerous. So you definitely don't want to have your guard down completely. When you're around strangers, have a level of awareness so you can react if you have to. All right. So we're going to reenact one of the some of the scenes that we saw. In particular, the one where the school teacher was walking towards the group of kids, and the kid just jumped out, bam, and caught him. Right. So let's do that one. So let's see. All right, so they can see it. Let's see. All right, so let me see. The students were like walking here on this angle, and the teacher was here. All right, so we'll do it first. How he got caught. He was just walking with a briefcase, and bam, he didn't even see. No, I mean he didn't even react. He didn't even duck or flinch or anything. So that means he was just totally blindsided. Walked out. All right, one more time. Teacher's walking. Boom. No flinching. That means he didn't even see it. So what you want to do, so first thing I would do is I see the group of kids coming. And as I said, you don't want to get into the racial thing. You don't want to say, oh, it's just black kids or white kids or Spanish kids. Any strangers that's passing by, I'm aware. If it's a bunch of white kids, I'm aware. A bunch of black kids, I'm aware. Latino, it doesn't matter. See, and that's another thing. If you only try to, limit your view to certain groups of people, then that's what's going to also put you in trouble. If you just say, oh, it's just black kids, then a group of white kids walk by, because there's videos of white kids doing it. You see, so if you try to just say, well, I'm only going to put my guard up against black kids, that means when some white kids do it, bam, you're going to get caught out there. Or I'm only going to look for white kids, bam, some Spanish kids, Asian kids, you know what I'm saying? So you never want to limit your view to certain people. In other words, you don't want a racial profile. The best thing to do is be aware of your surroundings, period, because everybody has the capacity to do, bad or evil. So never limit your awareness to just say, oh, well, I'm gonna let my guard down because it's these type of people. No. You never know who's gonna jump off with some crazy actions. So always be prepared when it's strangers, right? If you don't know them, my guard is up to a certain level, right? People I know, friends, okay, family, that's different. But people I don't know, my guard is up regardless. All right. So here's some things you can do to be aware. So first thing I said, I'm aware. I'm the teacher. I see the kids. I don't know if they're going to do wrong, but I'm putting my guard up just in case. So he's going to just jump out whenever he's ready, and here's how I would react. You ready? Okay, here we go. Boom. So I see something out of the corner of my eye. We'll quickly put the hand up. I can counter the student here. Bam, step in, throw him down. If the other kids want to come at me, he had his briefcase. I can swing my briefcase, whatever. All right? Again, he's jumping out. I'm not telling him what type of, the kid did a hook head. But he's going whenever he's ready, so you jump out whenever you're ready. He's gonna react whenever he's ready, and I gotta just be ready to go. So again, boom, right there. So I see something quickly, I'm ducking, I see the hand, my hand is up. Even if it's not a pretty block, I still got my hand up, stop the attack. From here I can realize clock, I can counter. Here, do this way or turn in. Right? So another one, you can go like here again. Pop, boom, see that? I can block, quickly strike him here. Hit the kid here, come under, throw him down. The other students, if they try to jump in or whatever, got my briefcase, kicking, punching, whatever. All right? So let's slow that down. So the first one is walking, he jumps out, block here, I turn and counter, bam. Now he had the briefcase, so as I turn, I can hit him with the briefcase, or I can hit the elbow, boom, step in, throw him over. The second one, quickly block and strike. Quickly block it, just you saying here, block, strike the kid here, boom, step elbow, step under, that's your evasion, sweep him down, boom. And the other kids come around, right? I could hit, kick, smack the briefcase, whatever I gotta do. All right? Let's do it from the other angle. All right? Let's do it the regular speed. Boom, pop, bam. Right there, pop. Yeah. Ready to go. All right? Again. Same thing, regular speed. Boom, pop, bam. Okay? Let's slow it down from that side. So here, quickly duck, block, counter, boom, step in, sweep, hit down, and he's down. All right? Second one. Here, strike. Same hand, just block and pow. Block, pow, get in close, hit the gut, step under, sweep him down, boom. And again, you're ready to do your thing. All right? All right, so let's do another scenario. Another scenario we saw where sometimes the people come up to you and try to talk to you, you know, nonchalant, you know, acting like they're looking for directions, or I need a light, a cigarette, can I borrow, you know, can I get some change, $1, whatever. So the one scenario was the guy was sitting there, he was talking to a homeless guy, I think. He was talking to him just regular, all of a sudden he just, boom, you know, while they were in the midst of the talk, he just reached out and struck. So same thing, you're gonna do it whenever you're ready, and I'm just gonna react. Again, stranger comes up, you never just say, oh, this is a nice guy, he just wants directions, let's just go. No, stranger comes up, you know, immediately, I keep a, you know, you don't gotta act like you're totally scared of the person or paranoid, but again, always having to win. If they get too close to you, you might want to step back. Oh, how you doing? You know what you need. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Boom. Once again, just throw the reaction up from here. I could pop to the face, pop, bam. You know, I could step under, come through, you know, bring it down. You know what I mean? Like so, okay? So again, whenever you're ready, just talking, yeah. Pop, pop, boom, right? He reached, so all of a sudden my hands come up. Your hands is your first line of defense in this situation, right? So as soon as he comes, the radars come right up, I'm already in defense. All right, one more, again, anything you want. Bam, right? He reaching, that's there. I don't know what he's trying to do. Why is he reaching for me? So once that's it, I'm moving, bam, I'm striking. It's my distraction, as we always talk about in our videos. You got your shocking and your distraction, right? Part of our is deception, part of our stealth, evasion. So he move, I move his hand out the way, quickly distract him. I got strikes from there, boom, boom, right? Kick him in, you know, whatever I need to do. All right, so let's slow that down. So again, somebody approaches, immediately the awareness is even heightened. Even though it seems innocent, you know, and again, it might be innocent. So I'm not gonna totally disrespect him and make him think that he's a criminal, but I'm on guard. So it seems innocent at first, but immediately I'm aware, I'm ready to react. He's asking for time, change, directions, whatever. And what I would tell my students to do, you know, they say you're supposed to look a person in the eye, but I recommend instead of doing that, you know, unless you know the person, but a stranger like that, I can hear you fine. So I'm looking at him, but I'm looking at his body. I usually like to look at people's mid-chest section right here, because that allows your peripheral vision to see everything. So instead of looking in the eyes, where now his legs, I can still see it, but I'm kind of more focused here. So a guy comes up, I'm kind of mostly focusing here and listen. Well, yeah, you need $1, directions, you know, and then I'm ready to something because if something comes, I can react better. If I'm up here focused, you know, your reaction time is a little slow. You know, I can still sit, but it's slower. So here I look, he comes up, I'm still I might go back and forth to, you know, so you don't totally make the guy feel uncomfortable just in case. But you know, I'm like here and here. So if anything pops, anything moves, I'm ready to throw my hands up and then react from there. All right, so let's do that again. So the guy comes up, and I'm looking here, he's talking, these directions, boom, throw the hands up from here, throw off from here, I can counter, look at that, bam, right? Because once it comes up, see, here, quickly grabbing, strike, boom, got my break right here. See that, I got the break, boom, everything is right there. Immediately ready to react. So because that's a threat, right? He has no reason to really be reaching for me. So once I see that, then I go to work. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, why you do? There's no reason for him to do that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see. What was the other one? Let's see. He did the haymaker. So the guy's talking. All of a sudden, bam. So the hand comes up. So from here, I block, distraction, or same hand, block, distract again. Got my evasion. Come under. Boom. Groin. Right. Hit him in the groin. Step through. Bam. And cover. Anybody else? Friends want to jump in to help him out? You know, I'm ready. I can finish him off, boom, then deal with the stuff like that. Okay? So like I said, the main thing, of course, you need, well, you know, you want to practice your technique. You need some techniques that are effective for these situations, and we definitely have that. If you've seen our videos, we have a lot of quick reaction stuff, a lot of quick shocking moves that you can react and shock and counter and stuff like that. Because obviously this is not a fight situation, right? It's not where both guys have their hands up. This is a surprise attack. This is definitely a self-defense situation, and what we do comes in perfect for that, right? Because you're not gonna put your hands up because he's not showing any hostility. He's trying to surprise you. So that stealth, that surprise, those shock moves that we have is perfect to handle, you know, the situation like that. But again, any art is good with that, because as long as you have your awareness and your training is geared towards a self-defense situation, it should be no problem. All right, the next thing is sometimes the kids run up to you from the back and try to knock you out. Okay, now this one is a little bit more difficult to handle, but it's not impossible to defend against. Again, your awareness has to be there. You're going to also use your other senses, like your hearing in particular. All right, so usually, you know, they're not going to just come up to you like all quiet, because obviously you're walking down the street. So you should be able to hear something, some footprints, some footsteps. I hear some footsteps. I might take a look behind, see what's going on. If they run up on you to try to do it, that's even better, because they might try to run. Sometimes kids like to, you ever see you walking the street, a bunch of kids are running by. It could be done like that too, where all of a sudden they all running down the street, and in the midst of them all running, one wants to decide to knock you. So if I hear a bunch of, I might stop and look, or step to the side and, get out the way so that way they don't catch you. But you never want to say, oh, just a bunch of kids running, la la la, boom. All right, you don't want to do that. I hear running, I'm gonna look, get prepared, whatever. So let's do a couple scenarios like that. We'll do like somebody just walking up and trying to swing, and we'll do running, okay? Let's see, I guess we'll do it from this angle here. All right, so once again, he's gonna just come up and swing and whatever, all right? So I gotta just be ready. But here's what you can do in a situation with somebody. Let's do the walk up. Somebody walks up behind you and go. Boom, right? Immediately, I'm throwing the hands up, right? So he hits that, might not be perfect. As soon as I hit that, I can turn, bam, pop. You know what I'm saying? Like so, right? So that one again, regular speed. Boom. All right, so here, again, I'm throwing the hands up, here, strike, I'm gonna turn my block and quickly turn. And once I turn, I'm reaching out the hand, whatever's there, right? Got his face, I might catch an eye, right? Could catch his eyes from here, throw, turn in, boom, right here, throw him over, again, always ready just in case, right? And again, remember, they're knocking you out, so they're aiming for your head, right? So I don't know which one he did, but yeah, they're aiming for your head. So if he hits me in my back, that might hurt. If a guy punch you in your back, obviously that's not the knockout game, because that's not gonna knock you out. But they're aiming for your head, so immediately I'm just coming up to cover my head just in case. Even if I get clocked a little bit, let's say you catch me. See, even if he clocks me, I might get knocked, but then I can turn, you know what I'm saying? And then make my move from there. All right? So now let's do the run up. The guy run up behind you, you hear the run up. There, I got him. Bam. You all right? All right? So again, same thing. I drop low, quickly cover. All right? Okay? Yeah. All right, let's do that again. Run up. I slow. So the guy runs up. Boom. See that? I'm dropping and throw it up and ready. Turning here. Caught him with the elbow. You ran right into it. Elbow. Boom. Get out the way. Pop. Boom. Bam. Whatever. Bam. You know what I'm saying? You go into action from there. All right, so let's slow that down. Let's slow that down and go. So the first one was the walk up. So you hear the footsteps. All of a sudden, you kind of drop and throw the hands up to cover and protect your head. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty, but as long as I'm covering, protecting, the hook comes, boom, I block it, right, from here. Then I turn to action, boom, right? As soon as I turn, whatever my hand grabs, whatever it grabs, I'm there. I turn, I can't even see. As soon as I turn, I hit something, I'm grabbing. Grab the flesh of the ear, cheek. If I come lower, right, grab his throat, grab him here, grab his clothes, whatever, pull him into me, boom, pop, pop, man. Right, right. Again. Boom. So you can't see, quickly turn. You could also turn the other way too. You could go this way, boom, and then quickly turn out this way. And be ready to boom, break. Break. Bring him around. Grab. Got all that, right? Let's do it again. We're gonna turn the other way. So the guy walks up behind you, all of a sudden, Boom, here. So instead of turning this way, I can block and then turn out. And right there, see that? Break, fold over, break the wrist, pop, bring them around, elbow, strike, grab them, and throw them. Okay? For the run up, where they run up behind you, same thing. You're gonna drop low because you hear footsteps, so I'm gonna drop lower here and turn, boom. When I go low, I know that elbow's right up in there. Bam, reach out, strike, boom. Going, step in, sweep, finish, look around. Other kids won't jump in. I'm ready to do what I gotta do or just make my escape. Right? In. Running up, all of a sudden, you drop, and again, as I drop, bam, throw that elbow back and reach out, boom. Here, reach out from here, like I said, grab, flesh. If your hand touches it, you can get some flesh. Even if I can't get it, I might scratch him, right? If I can't grab his flesh, I can scratch from here, throat, right? Here, throat, turn in, boom, bam, boom. You know, you gotta always be ready, one step ahead to get your next opportunity to strike. Okay? All right, that's good. Okay, here are some tips, some exercises you can do to help develop and build up your reflexes for situations like that. All right, one exercise that I do with my students is I call the act and react. All right, and that's the exercise where we stand, I have the students stand right in front of each other, and one person will do random, not a full technique, but just random quick attacks. It could be anything. He could try to grab. He could throw a hook, a left hook, overhead, try to grab the wrist, right? And what you want to do is the person who's doing the attacking, space the attacks at least, 3 to 5 seconds apart. You don't want to be like, not there, no. You want to space it. You want to do one attack and give him a chance to kind of reset. Boom. Right, so in between, like, give at least 3 to 5 seconds in between each attack. You don't want to be, no, not like that, because again, you want to develop the reflexes. So what we do is we have these people stand face to face. Same thing, I always say look at the upper center chest plate area, and then he'll be the attacker. And what you're going to do, your job as the exerciser, is to develop your reflexes, whatever block you see necessary, inside block, outside, rising, lower, whatever block, put your hands up, whatever thing you see necessary to help you develop. And also what you want to do is you want to block and then react back. So we call it act and react. He's acting towards me and I react back towards him. So train yourself to block and strike, block and strike. So we're going to do that a little bit, right? He's going to just do random attacks and I'm going to block and react back to him. All right, ready? Okay, I'll let him do a couple. All right, ready? All right, we'll do one more session. You come back to me. Ooh, okay. I caught him. Is in there. So everybody's real, right? Just All right, one more time. Let him get another one. Ready?